Hi there, this is video 3 of eRollbooks Basics and More. In this video, I will show you how to create your eRollbook, CAV, and weekly summary using your class roster from your portal. To begin, we need to log in to our portal at myportal.sdccd.edu. We'll input our 10-digit user ID and password, and then we will select the CE Faculty Dashboard tile. On the left, you'll click on Faculty Schedule, and you'll scroll down to click on My Schedule. It's in My Schedule where you'll see all the classes you're teaching for this semester. And you'll find the class that you want to create your eRollbook for. And to the far left, you'll see an icon with 3 people. And this will open your class roster. So you'll click on this icon to the far left. And you'll see your class roster. Up at the top of the roster by the number 1, you'll click down and you'll drag the cursor across all the information. So you want to make sure that everything is highlighted from the top left to the bottom right. Once everything is highlighted, you'll right click and you'll copy. And now we want to go to our eRollbook that we saved on the computer. So we'll open that rollbook up, and down at the bottom where you see the tabs, you will click on the plus sign to create a new tab or sheet. And you'll see a new sheet opens that says Sheet 1. Up in the top left cell, that should be selected, so there's a dark green box around that. In that cell, you'll right click and you'll paste with the second paste option. So now all the information that you just copied is here, but you might notice the student ID numbers look a little different and you can't see all the students' names. So in order to rectify this, we will go in between the 2 columns. So first we'll go between C and D, and you'll see the cursor is right on that line in between, and there's 2 arrows pointing in both directions. So if I double click here, it will expand that column, and now I can see all the student ID numbers. If the number begins with 3 zeros, they don't show up in Excel. And if it starts with the 5s, they do, so then these ones have the full 10 digits. We'll do the same thing so that we can see the student names. So in between D and E, on that line, you'll double click and it will expand to show us all the names. So now we want to put this information into our rollbook. So first we'll begin with the names. We'll highlight all the names. We'll right click and copy. And then we'll go down to the tab that says Daily Roll. And in that first cell under the names, right now, did you notice I'm in row 15? So I don't want to paste it here. I want to scroll up to the top, make sure that I'm in row 3 under last name, first name. I select the first cell and I right click and I paste with the 3rd icon. So the 3rd clipboard icon, I select that, and you'll see that my name's pasted in here to the left with the last name, first name. I want to also put the student ID numbers in here, so I'll go back to the sheet 1. Now I will select all the ID numbers, and I will right click and copy. I'll go back to the daily roll on the bottom tab, and in the roll book under ID, I'll make sure that that first cell is selected, so it has a dark green box. I want to make sure again that I'm up at the top in row 3. Okay, so just that first cell is selected. I right click and I paste with the first clipboard. so the first icon. While everything is still highlighted, I can go up to the top under Home, under the Home tab, and I will see this border icon. So if I click this triangle to open it, I want to select the All Borders option. I'll click All Borders. I should see all the lines now. While all my numbers are still highlighted, I will change the font size up under the Home tab as well to size 12. Okay, so now I have the student names and their ID numbers in my roll book. I also want to put the student names in my CAV. So I'll go back to the sheet. I will select all the student names. I will right-click and copy. I will go to the CAV tab at the bottom. And before I paste those names, I want to make sure that I have enough cells. So if you have more students that you're adding to this sheet than you have rows, you'll need to add more. So in order to do that, you will select however many rows you want to add. Okay, so I want to add this many more rows, so I will highlight them. I'll right-click and I can copy. And then I can just click on another row anywhere. I can right-click. So I'll make sure the whole row is highlighted. I'll right-click and I can select Insert Copied Cells. And so now I've increased the number of cells I have. So now I have 51 rows. And now I need to go back to the sheet because I ended up copying something else. So I need to go back to the names. I will select all the names, right-click, copy, go to the CAV. I already added extra rows, so I'm okay. In the top, so make sure it's row number 8. So in that top cell under names, I just make sure it's selected and I right-click and I paste. I want to make sure that I choose the third paste icon. And so then you'll see the names show up again, perfect to the left with last name, first name. I will then print this and my students in class will sign their names on this and I will fill out all the other information. I will add up the hours, I'll sign. Up at the top before you print this, you want to fill in the information. So you'll see if you hover over a cell, it will tell you what information needs to go in that cell. So here is your department name. So I can click and then I can just type. In this cell is the name of the class. Down below is the number of hours, the days and times, your class number, your name. Here is professor or instructor, so you'll fill all that out. For date, if you want to save time, you can always leave a blank for the day. So you could print this out. You could print out multiple copies for the week or the month, and then you just handwrite in the day. That can help. When you're ready, you'll go to the top left, click File, Print, and it will print 2 pages of this CAV. Then, when you're ready to print your weekly CAV, you click on this tab. You can fill all this information out for the whole semester, and you can, when you click Save, it will save all this information at the top. And then every week, you just need to change the dates and the total teaching hours and total student attendance hours that you have calculated from your roll book or from your CAVs, your CAV sign-in sheets. And then you'll print this and you will sign and date. You do not need to do any calculations. the office, when you submit this to the office, they will calculate the average class size. Okay, so when you're ready, in the top left, you'll click File, Print, and you'll be able to print your weekly CAV. So remember, for this semester, the daily roll book, you'll input your student attendance hours daily or weekly, but you'll submit that monthly. And then the CAV, you'll have your students sign every time they attend class, and then you'll submit the CAV sign-in sheets with your weekly CAV summary at the end of every week. Okay, now we are done with sheet 1. We don't need this anymore, so we can select this tab. We can right-click and delete. And that's okay, we want to permanently delete this for now. You can also reorganize these tabs. If you don't want these rollbook instructions here, you can click on this tab, hold your mouse down, and drag it to the far right. So now it's a little out of the way, and you have the 3 main tabs right here up front for easy access. Okay, so that is it for this video. And don't forget to save before I sign off. Let's save. So remember, anytime you make changes, just remember, go to the top left, File, Save, so that you have all this information for the next time. Okay, so we are done with this video. Thank you so much. If you go to video 4, you will learn how to maintain your eRollbook and keep adding new students to it. Okay, thanks so much for watching.